The past 2 weeks have been incredibly difficult, and I think a lot of us have wondered what in the world is going on. But in the midst of that difficulty, one of the most incredible things, and I will tell you, I have covered a million events. I have been a lot of places. I've talked to a lot of people. I have never stood in the middle of a stadium with tens of thousands of people praising the Lord. The revival spirit that I felt at Charlie Kirk's memorial was incredible. And so you have this horrific event, you have this moment that makes no sense, this senseless murder, this killing, and it horrifies the nation. But then at the same time, you have all of these people coming to the Lord. You have reports from Mike Signorelli, a pastor in New York City, that 533 people accepted Christ the first Sunday after Charlie Kirk's death. And so you have to ask yourself, what is going on? And really, right now, we have a calling, and that calling is to understand the times in which we live. There is nothing new under the sun, but it feels very much like the spiritual powers, the evil and the good, are clashing. And as Christians, this is something we have to understand. If you're not a Christian, just bear with me. But Ephesians 6:10, it reads, "Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes." That's verses 10 and 11. Now, this is the part we need to pay attention to. This is the part, if you're confused, if you're trying to make sense of what is going on, if you're like, why did this happen? Why is our world so crazy? Why are we watching people come to faith in the middle of something so unimaginable? Verse 12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. What is that saying? It's saying that our struggle is not Democrat versus Republican. It may manifest in different ways, but we're all down here so distracted by the us versus them, by fighting with each other. What this is telling us is that there are authorities, there is a dark world, there are spiritual forces of evil, and that those things are the baseline of what is happening in this country, in this world, that we are in the middle of a spiritual battle. So, like, are you showing up with a spork to the sword fight? Nobody wants to do that. You need to show up ready to fight. What do I mean by that? Show up as a Christian, show up in prayer, show up every day reading scripture, being prepared. That's what we all have to do. And it's incredibly convicting to me, but as I look at this, I need to see everything through this Ephesians 6 lens. That is what is happening, good versus evil. We saw a horrific act of evil, and now we're seeing God use that for his good. He's taking the evil intentions of a human being who was very much influenced by evil, right? Ephesians 6, we're reading it, we're talking about it right now. And he's using that and turning people back to him. So much more to unpack, but read Ephesians 6, start at verse 10. This is an incredibly important message, and it explains exactly where we are and what is to come.